Welcome to RSBN Live. I'm Matthew Alvarez. It is 2:09 Eastern Time, Friday, May 23rd. Let's go to the Oval Office as President Trump is signing executive orders right now.
Well, thank you very much. We have a very big announcement today. It has to do with nuclear energy and other things. And this is all nuclear. It's a hot industry. It's a brilliant industry. You have to do it right. It's become very safe and environmental, yes, 100%. So I'm going to ask Doug Burgum to talk about it a little bit to start. And maybe Will, you'll follow him up.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to have Pete Hegseth speak from a military standpoint. But this is very all-inclusive. We're signing tremendous executive orders today that really will make us the real power in this industry, which is a big industry. Doug? Why don't you go ahead?
Well, thank you, President Trump. This is a huge day for the nuclear industry. Mark this day on your calendar. This is going to turn the clock back on over 50 years of over-regulation of an industry. American greatness has always come from innovation, and we were very innovative. We led post-World War II in all things nuclear, but then we've been stagnated. We've choked it with over-regulation. Today, Will is going to walk us through a series of 4 executive orders. Each of these help attack separate issues that have held back this industry. And with us today, we've got a number of CEOs from the industry representing some of our largest nuclear providers, but also a big change. This is a time when capital and competition has finally come to this industry. We've got venture capital, we've got startups coming into all aspects with small modular nuclear, and we've also got an EO that's talking about the importance of us having a secure supply chain of being able to get that fuel load here in the United States as opposed from foreign sources. This has impacts on national security, on our defense, and again, President Trump here today has committed to energy dominance, and part of that energy dominance is that we've got enough electricity to win the AI arms race with China. What we do in the next 5 years related to electricity is going to determine the next 50, because this is the first time in history where electricity can be translated into intelligence, and we need that intelligence for every aspect of our economy, but also for defense. Pete Hegseth in the Department of Defense has been a key part of this, and this is going to help us make sure that we're providing the defense we need, where we need that AI, need the electricity, but also to secure our bases here at home and around the world. Secretary?
Sure, I'll just add to that before going to Will. Energy security is national security. If we don't have reliable energy for our basing, for our troops, whether forward deployed or domestically, we're vulnerable. So by having small modular nuclear capabilities, which are rapidly being fielded, that we can use on our bases here and around the world, we're creating an environment where if things happen elsewhere, the military can be relied upon. Also, we're including artificial intelligence into everything we do. If we don't, we're not fast enough. We're not keeping up with adversaries. You need the energy to fuel it. Nuclear is a huge part of that, modular or otherwise. So we're going to have the lights on and AI operating when others do not, faster than everybody else because of nuclear capability. So this is a big game changer for us as well.
And we're also talking about the big plants, the very, very big, the biggest. We're going to be doing them also, but we're going to start off a little bit. I think a focus today is the smaller module, but included in this group, we're also doing big plants where needed. They won't be needed too much, but they'll literally be able to do an entire state. And you've read a lot about cost overruns in a couple of states that were pretty significant, but we're not going to have cost overruns. And the technology's come a long way, both in safety and cost and everything else. Would a couple of you guys like to talk about your companies and you want to say anything?
Joe, why don't you kick it off?
Sure. My name is Joe Dominguez. I run Constellation Energy. We have about 25% of the nation's fleet. We're the largest publicly traded nuclear company in the world. We're in the middle of a merger with Calpine, and once completed, we will be the largest electric producing company in the world. About enough power to produce, to cover all of Mexico, actually.
I didn't know that. When we talked, you were so modest. I can't believe it.
That's normally not said about me, Mr. President.
I'm very impressed. Go ahead. So you think it's got a great future?
Yeah, well, absolutely we do. And the big change here is not only the technology has come around, but we have some of the largest companies in the world, the hyperscalers, who need this energy for AI, who are now working with us to fund the development and construction of the next generation nuclear. Nuclear is a 24/7 resource. These data centers run 24/7. Some of them will cost $200–300 billion, and they want to run them all of the time. So we can't use intermittent resources. We need something that's always on, 24/7, and nothing does that better than nuclear. The problem in the industry has historically been regulatory delay. Mr. President, you know this because you're the best at building big things. Delay in regulations and permitting will absolutely kill you, because if you can't get the plant on, you can't get revenue, and the interest costs are horrible. We're wasting too much time on permitting, and we're answering silly questions, not the important ones. For example, let me give you an example. In 3 places in this country, we're trying to license new reactors at sites that already have reactors. Yet I have to spend $35 billion at each site just for the NRC to do an analysis that says this is a good place for nuclear. Well, guess what? We've been running nuclear in that community for 4 decades. Why are we even asking that question? I'd rather spend that $35 million, 3 times $105 million, perfecting a design, start building the foundation, and getting going. We need to do this for America.
Are we doing something about the regulatory in here?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, you are.
You are,
Because
sir.
that's going to be a big factor.
Yes, sir. That issue I just described will be addressed in this EO, and many other issues that we don't have time with the President to
But
cover
you say
today.
it's very, we've contemplated just about everything, right?
Well, this, Mr. President, this Energy Dominance Council that you have created is something I haven't seen in 30 years. It brings together all the pieces of government in one place to expedite the process. Under Secretary Burgum's leadership, this has been an amazing, amazing thing. It used to be the case that I have to run to about 5 different places in Washington to get one answer.
That's good.
And now it's all together in one place. So all I know about Secretary Burgum and Secretary Wright is if we haven't gotten it right, we'll get it right shortly, and there'll be another
That's
order
good.
for you to
I'm
sign.
glad
But
they're
thank you so
addressing-
much for your
I'm glad they're
leadership, sir.
addressing. You were going to say something? Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say commercial nuclear, a bit of an unsung hero. And I just want to thank you, Mr. President, Secretary Burgum, Secretary Wright, for bringing this attention to commercial nuclear. We have the largest and most safe fleet right here in the United States. And upon that, we have fantastic innovation that's being brought forward. And it's going to come in all shapes and sizes, and it's going to actually be coming through some of these companies that you see represented here. We're going to have great jobs, we're going to have wonderful energy, and we're going to be ready. So thank you, Mr.
Thank
President,
you.
for
Very
leaning
good.
in.
Appreciate it. Great job you've done, too.
Jake?
How about talking about your company and the job you're going to do?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Well, first of all, a little MIT nuclear connection that goes back, I know, familial for you. So, yeah, we're working on small reactors. I'm Jake DeWitt, CEO, co-founder at Oklo, working on small next-generation reactors that take technology America invented, developed, and pioneered and bringing it to the market after it sat on the shelves of history for about 40 years. And it's because of the actions that you're doing today that are going to help unleash that. Changing the permitting dynamics is going to help things move faster. We're seeing private investment flow into the space like we've never seen before. We went public about a year ago, and one of the most successful actually go public outcomes for a transaction like that for a small nuclear company, because the market needs this and wants this. And under your leadership, creating the Dominance Council, I mean, it's hard to overstate the value of that. And nuclear is a manifestation of energy dominance. In fact, a golf ball of uranium metal, which this is not, but it's a golf ball, has enough energy content in it to power your entire life's energy needs. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And to get back to building, nuclear uses the fewest materials, right? The least amount of concrete, of steel, of fuel for amount of energy it produces. So it should be the cheapest, the most scalable, the most sustainable. Just like you mentioned, Mr. President, about the importance of doing that right. The physics are on our side, and these things help unleash this innovation to actually realize that. So it's never been more exciting.
Very exciting indeed. Go ahead, please.
And I'm Scott Nolan, CEO of General Matter. We're an American enrichment company trying to bring back the U.S.'s lead in producing nuclear fuel. So just like car engines need fuel, nuclear reactors need fuel. Right now, the U.S. is completely dependent on other countries to make the key step of enrichment in this fuel. And these executive orders are going to pave the way for the U.S. to regain its lead. So we really appreciate it.
Will you be doing the AI plants? Because we have a lot of them going up now, or soon going up, and they need tremendous electricity. Are you going to be involved in many of those plants?
Yes.
Will a lot of them be using nuclear, or some are using oil and gas, some are using different things? But
Many of them will be, I think.
it just makes a lot of sense.
Nuclear is a perfect solution, and that's where most of them are interested.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be, yes.
Okay, Will, please.
The first executive order we have for you relates to the issue that Secretary Hegseth was speaking to, which is the need for incredible amounts of power at defense installations and also in AI-focused installations. What this executive order will do is speed up the approval and adoption process for specialized nuclear reactors at these sorts of sites. It also involves the Department of Energy making available the necessary fuel stock. It also creates a special envoy position and a strategy around nuclear technology export, the idea being that we can grow American industry on the back of foreign purchasers who are interested in this sort of technology as well.
I'm just thinking, as you're saying that, I just said, what about auto pens? Could I use an auto pen? What did Biden do? Did he have an auto pen at the desk?
Nuclear powered.
No, he didn't do events like that. He used nuclear power. You know, he didn't do events like this, I guess. That's all right. Otherwise, you know, you walk into the other side of the room, have an auto pen sounded, right? Here it is. It's phase one. Very big phase, very important phase.
Sir, this next executive order is intended to reform the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. You heard a few of the people here speak about the complex regulatory processes that have really held the nuclear industry back. Before 1978, there were 133 reactors built in the United States. Since 1978, only 2 new commercial reactors have come online. That's because of overregulation, and the goal of this executive order is bringing that regulatory process into line with the actual needs of the industry and public safety, with an end goal of quadrupling the amount of nuclear power production in the next 2.5 decades.
It's fantastic. It's exciting, right? There you go.
This next executive order relates to nuclear reactor testing, sir. The degree of overregulation and governmental inaction in this space in particular has had the effect of throttling development of new, highly modernized nuclear reactors that could really revolutionize the field of nuclear power generation. So this executive order, it orders a revised regulatory process to speed this whole process while preserving, obviously, core safety concerns. It also creates a new pilot program with an expectation that we will have 3 new experimental reactors online by July 4th next year.
It's amazing. That's exciting. Okay, come on.
And lastly, sir, we have an executive order on reinvigorating the nuclear industrial base. There are a number of core issues here, including the issue with fuel feedstock that one of the speakers mentioned before. This executive order, among other actions, includes an invocation of the Defense Production Act in order to spur a closer collaboration with private industry to ensure that we have the fuel supplies we need for a modernized nuclear energy sector. In addition to that, it includes crucial provisions relating to the development of a nuclear energy sector workforce and a number of other key building blocks to the overall nuclear industry that we're trying to spur here.
Great, thank you.
We have one more for you here, sir. This doesn't directly relate to nuclear energy, but it's on a similar subject. This executive order is entitled Restoring Gold Standard Science. One of the issues that we've had in recent decades is that government policy has been made on the back of junk science, scientific studies and findings that have included conflicts of interest or scientific misconduct. The purpose of this executive order is to recenter policymaking around gold standard science, scientific efforts that have followed appropriate scientific methods that don't include those sorts of conflicts of interest, and to ensure that when departments and agencies are relying on scientific studies to promulgate rules, to promulgate regulations, that the science that they're relying on is highly reliable and available to the public.
He did a very good job, didn't he? He did. How many people here could have done that? I don't know. I think a lot. Thanks. Good job, Will.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Is that it?
That's all we have for you now, sir.
Do you have any questions for these brilliant people? They are brilliant people, actually.
I have a question for you, Mr. President.
Mr. President, on nuclear, sir, a lot of the concern over the years that's held the nuclear industry back has been about safety. Are you satisfied with those safety concerns?
Yeah, we are. It's become a very safe, actually it's become very safe, and a tremendous work's been done on that, more than anything else, and it's really the automatic shutoffs. There's so many different things that they have now that they would have never had. You know, my uncle was a great nuclear person years ago, and that was a different, if you would have asked that question, probably it would have been a much different answer. But they have tremendous shut-off power and other powers that, and it's very redundant, as I understand it, like at a level that nobody's ever seen before. So it's safe. And we're going to do a lot of the small ones, and we're going to do some of the big ones. But yeah, very safe and clean.
Mr. President, on Apple.
Let's keep it on this for a little while. Let's keep it on the nuclear, and then if you want to ask something else, which you might, we'll do that.
On nuclear, Mr. President.
Yeah, please.
What do you say to folks who are concerned that speeding up licensing or even doing fuel reprocessing raises safety and proliferation?
Yeah, we're going to get it very fast, and we're going to get it very safe, and we're going to get the people in and out, and they're going to do plants. In many cases, they'll do 3 or 4 smaller ones and put them together. That's what France has done. France has done a good job of this for years. And they, as I understand it, they had basically one plan. And if they needed more, they'd do 3 or 4 or 5 of them. I don't know, we have to go that far, but you know, there's something about building one big one. But we'll build the big ones too. We're going to have, I think I would say we'll be second to none because we're starting very strong. But it's time for nuclear, and we're going to do it very big. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, what about the European Union? You said that negotiations are going nowhere. Where are the kind of points
they're
where
just very slow moving. I've been saying to everybody, they've treated us very badly over the years. It was formed in order to hurt the United States, in order to take advantage of the United States, and they've done that. We have a big deficit with them. They sell millions and millions of cars, as you know, Mercedes and BMW and Volkswagen and many others, and we were restricted from, essentially restricted from selling cars into the European Union, which is not nice. And I just said it's time that we play the game the way I know how to play the game. You know, they've taken advantage of other people representing this country, and they're not going to do that any longer.
Mr. President, you are a deal maker, deal breaker. What are you hoping to achieve with a 50%? Tariffs on the EU?
Well, I think this is there is no tariff, because what they'll do is they'll send their companies into the U.S. and build their plant. You know, we have, I guess, over $12 trillion practically committed. You look at other presidents; they haven't had $1 trillion for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years. We have numbers. Nobody's ever seen numbers like we have. And if they build their plant here, then they have no tariff at all.
Are you looking for a deal in 9 days? Will you be able to do that, sir?
I'm not looking for a deal. I mean, we've set the deal. It's at 50%. But again, there is no tariff if they build their plant here. Now, if somebody comes in and wants to build a plant here, I can talk to them about a little bit of a delay. But, you know, while they're building their plant, which is something I think that would be appropriate, maybe we'll determine that.
Is there anything they can do, sir? Is there anything the EU can do?
I don't know. We're going to see what happens. But right now it's going on June 1st. And that's the way it is. No, they haven't treated us properly. They haven't treated our country properly. They banded together to take advantage of us. And the people behind me know, because they had some of that with their industry. But generally, you know, we signed a great deal with United Kingdom. We have numerous other deals that are ready to be signed. We've signed a deal with China. We have some really amazing deals. But the European Union, I mean, the sole purpose was really not to hurt us, but to take advantage of us, and we're not going to be taking
Mr. President, on Apple,
You said this morning that if they don't make their iPhones in the U.S., you're going to hit them with a 25% tariff.
Right.
Do you have the power to tariff one single company? And why would you
No,
want to
it'll
hurt
be
an
more.
American company in that way?
It would be more. It would be also Samsung and anybody that makes that product. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair. So anybody that makes that product, and that'll start on, I guess, the end of June. It'll come out. I think we have that appropriately done by the end of June. So if they make that product. Now, again, when they build their plant here, there's no tariff. So they're going to be building plants here. But I had an understanding with Tim that he wouldn't be doing this. He said he's going to India to build plants. I said, that's okay to go to India, but you're not going to sell into here without tariffs. And that's the way it is, yeah.
But why would you hurt an American company that way?
What makes you confident, sir, that Apple can build in the United States at a price that American consumers?
Oh, they can. No, they can. And a lot of it's so computerized now. These plants are amazing if you look at them, but they can do that. And actually, as you know, Apple's coming in with $500 billion. So are the chip companies. We have all of the chip companies coming in. The biggest, $500 billion, $200 billion, $250 billion they're spending. But we're talking about the iPhone now, and the iPhone. If they're going to sell it in America, I want it to be built in the United States. They're able to do that.
When you say that Walmart should eat the cost of the tariffs, is that an acknowledgement that it is U.S. companies that bear the brunt of tariffs, not foreign countries?
Sometimes the country will eat it, sometimes Walmart will eat it, and sometimes there'll be something to pay, something extra. I've always been a fan, and I've always believed, and if you look, take a look at what I did 4 years ago. We had the greatest economy, and we had no inflation. Remember that. We had no inflation, and yet we had hundreds of billions of dollars of tariffs that I put on China. Yet we had no inflation. We had no big cost differential. Oftentimes, and I don't like it when a department store, because they'll do a lot of business, but they announce record profits and everything else. They have to take out some of their profits or make a little bit less money. But I don't want the consumer. I don't want the consumer to pay.
But why impose tariffs that you know are hurting American businesses?
They're not hurting. They're helping because they're creating jobs in America. We're creating tremendous amounts of jobs in America like you've never seen. We're having investment in America. We're not getting ripped off by every country in the world. We've been ripped off by every country in the world. They're making their product. They sell it. They don't give our people the jobs. They make them with other countries' jobs. And we will have something that nobody will ever see again, I think. I think we have a potential to do numbers that we never envisioned in the wildest year. Look at what's happening. 10 to 12 trillion dollars in literally a couple of months. It's nothing like that's ever happened. It's we're doing a very special thing. We want, if they're going to sell it here, generally speaking, not for all products. There's some products we don't want to make. And frankly, we're much better off getting them elsewhere. But for certain products, we want cars. We want to make cars. We don't want to have, and I like Canada very much, but we don't want to have Canada making our cars. We want to make our cars. Oh, it's a phone call. Do you mind? Hello? Okay, it's only a congressman. I'd let you know, actually.
Mr. President, are you considering stopping other universities from taking foreign students?
It's a different congressman. They're all congratulating us. Yeah, it's lucky it is. Okay, let's go.
Are you considering stopping other universities besides Harvard from accepting foreign
Well, we're
students?
taking a look at a lot of things. And as you know, billions of dollars has been paid to Harvard. How ridiculous is that? Billions. And they have $52 billion as an endowment. They have $52 billion. And this country is paying billions and billions of dollars and then gives student loans, and they have to pay back the loans. So Harvard's going to have to change its ways. And so are some others.
Mr. President, on that note, a lot of CEOs in the United States, big companies, are for it. What is that going to do?
I'm fine with that. No, I'm fine with that. No, we want to do that. We're actually going to be doing something in the near future that's going to make it possible for people to come into this country and come in and have a road toward citizenship. And I think it'll be very exciting, but it's too soon to speak.
You don't think that banning
Why would you
students?
not want the best and brightest from around the world to
I do.
come to Harvard?
I do, but a lot of the people need remedial math. Did you see that? where the students can't add 2 and 2 and they go to Harvard. They want remedial math, and they're going to teach remedial math at Harvard. Now, wait a minute. So why would they get in? How can somebody that can't add or has very basic skills, how do they get into Harvard? Why are they there? And then you see those same people picketing and screaming at the United States and screaming at, they're anti-Semitic or they're something. We don't want troublemakers here. But how do people that can't, when Harvard comes out with a statement that they're going to teach some of their students remedial math, that's basic math, that's not the deal. Okay, and anyway, in the back.
Are there other countries you're considering shortening the 90-day pause on tariffs for? And then are there specific steps you're looking for the EU to take?
We do. Well, we have a lot of requests, and you don't have the people to handle it, frankly. Everybody wants to make a deal. I'm sure now the European Union wants to make a deal very badly, but they just they don't do it right. They don't go about it right. The other thing they do is they sue our companies all the time. They have suits where their judges, I don't know if they're appointed by them, but they're definitely Europe-centric, and we're not going to stand for it. They won a $17 billion lawsuit for Apple, and I read that case, and that's not a case that should have been won. They're suing other of our companies. They use this as a weapon, but they use it really to raise funds for what they do. It's almost like a fundraising mechanism. So we add that to the fact that they do the non-monetary tariffs and lots of other trading, you would call them trading barriers. They don't take our cars. They don't take our agriculture. They don't take anything, but we take their cars by the millions. And therefore, they have the jobs. They get the money, and we get closed plants. Not going to happen that way anymore. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you.
Well, there you go. A lot of executive orders being signed about nuclear power, including the increase in nuclear power for the military, also the increase of nuclear reactor testing, also new highly modernized nuclear reactors, and more. So all of that within making America energy independent again. So the executive orders being signed there by the President of the United States, that was just a few minutes ago, that replay there, as it's 2:36, Friday, May 23rd. We're about to see it a little bit later, and don't know specifically the amount of time, but it's not going to be too long, where we're going to see the President go to Joint Base Andrews, takeoff in Air Force One, not heading to Florida this time, heading to New Jersey, because tomorrow he's going to be in New York for the Army commencement speech, which you could watch right here on Right Side tomorrow morning. So we start our coverage at 9 tomorrow morning Eastern Time, and then we'll be watching all of the celebration there and the graduates, getting their degrees, but also hearing from President Trump for a speech. So we'll have that live here on Right Side. So it's great to see the President there, great to see all of those companies there, and all of the people saying, you know what, this is what we have to do to make America energy independent again. So you just saw that live right here on Right Side Broadcasting Network. Up next again, we'll see the President boarding Air Force One. Also, if the President does take any time with the reporters on the South Lawn on the way to Marine One, on the way to Joint Base Andrews, we'll show you that as well. So we're giving you every angle possible when it comes to information, because we know, hearing from someone that is on the right side of history and has all the common sense going on, we want to hear from that person and that team and that cabinet, and we will not cut away from those kind of things. And then if for some reason, if we ever missed even this much information, we would let you know about it as soon as we can. We'd also be replaying or uploading it to Rumble and our social platforms, really to make sure our job first is to say, this is what's happening. We see it. Here it is. You can watch. We can watch with you. And then, of course, we have commentary, analysis, and other reporting as we see stories around the country, but specifically that have to do with America First and conservative news right here on Right Side Broadcasting Network. All right, so again, 2:38, Friday, May 23rd. The future schedule for President Trump, we know he'll be in West Point, New York tomorrow for that speech. And then on May 26th, Memorial Day, he'll be at Arlington National Cemetery for the wreath-laying ceremony. You can count on us for having the video of that happening, whether we're live or whether we upload it. We'll have it for you on Monday. Also, June 14th, Flag Day, but also President Trump's birthday and the 250th celebration and honoring of the United States Army. So we're going to have that coverage. That's Saturday, June 14th. You're talking a huge military parade. Plans for the parade include about 6,600 soldiers, 150 vehicles, and 50 helicopters to follow a route from Arlington, Virginia to the National Mall, starting at the Pentagon. Fireworks to follow. So that'll be a fun day of coverage there. Then June 15th, the next day, Father's Day, June 15th, to the 17th, President Trump will be in Canada for the G7. So specifically when he'll speak or what days he'll be there, we have not heard those logistics yet, but as soon as we do, we'll have that to you. But also, you can count on us, of course, for having that live coverage from Canada as President Trump will be attending the G7. So that is the latest when it comes to all of the live programming notes right here on Right Side, just to keep you updated on what's going on this soon-to-be holiday weekend, but still to remember those that have fallen in the line of duty throughout the world and all of our people to memorialize, including our military, of course, because on Monday, President Trump will be at the Arlington National Cemetery with a wreath-laying ceremony there. All right, so 2:40, we're about 20 minutes from the top of the hour. Let's go to a commercial break, and then when we come back, we'll be getting ready to show you some videos, especially of President Trump as he is getting ready to fly to Bedminster, New Jersey, of course, one of the Trump National Golf Clubs there, and then he'll be going to New York tomorrow. I'm Matthew Alvarez. We'll be right back on Right Side.
You've heard how hard it can be to get access to medications like ivermectin, all the things they don't want you to take because they're actually effective and they don't cost all that much, right? You've seen that one before. So it's critical to have something like that on hand for any emergency and to be prepared in a time of crisis. And that's why I want to tell you about All Family Pharmacy. They're cutting through the nonsense and they make it easy to get hard to find medications when you need them most. They'll provide the prescription, no hoops to jump through, no waiting room, no hassle, and they deliver it right to your door. All Family Pharma even lets you order in bulk so you can stay ahead of the curve. Head over to allfamilypharmacy.com for 10% off your first order. Again, allfamilypharmacy.com. It's simple. Get the 10% savings. Be prepared.
I'm Elmer Heinrich, the 91-year-old formulator of Immuno 150, an incredible nutritional supplement. There's nothing like it. Now, Immuno 150 is different because it contains 70 plant-derived minerals and 80 other nutrients. Dr. Linus Pauling, known for vitamin C, was instrumental in convincing me to get into the mineral business in 1983. He said the world is sick due to a lack of minerals in topsoil. He said the body needs 60 minerals, but the average food and supplement has no more than 12. That's the reason for Immuno 150. Since its inception, it's had a powerful impact on the lives of thousands of people who could not get any help from various supplements they took or their doctor. Now, I suggest you try Immuno 150 to see what 70 minerals, CoQ10, and 80 nutrients can do for you. Look at the 2 videos on our website. Millions have. Now, consider placing an order for Immuno 150 online or call our toll-free number. I know you'll be glad you did.
Welcome back to RSBN Live. Thanks so much for joining us. We're going to show you a video in just a bit from the White House of yesterday's great Make America Healthy Again clip. It's more of like a highlight clip, about a minute long. We're going to play that for you in just a second. Also, for those of you that love aviation, if you missed it earlier, and I did on this specific video piece we're going to look at, the Blue Angels flyover from this morning's Vice President commencement speech at the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. We'll be playing that in just a minute. On top of that, speaking of aviation, the President will be boarding Marine One soon, on his way over to JBA, Joint Base Andrews, to board Air Force One. So a lot of flying and aviation coming up, so get the Top Gun soundtrack ready because it's 2:43, Friday, May 23rd. Happy Friday to you. I hope you have a great weekend and some plans, and if it's just to hang out, relax, all good too. It's definitely getting warmer out there in some parts of the country. I saw the other day, actually it was just yesterday, I think it was Breaking News 911, the X post, and they said, breaking news, Las Vegas has hit the 100-degree mark for the first time in 2025. So already 100 degrees in the desert. And then, of course, all sorts of weather throughout the country. But thanks for streaming in live with us on this Friday. Again, hopefully you have a great weekend. And hopefully you tune in tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern as we get ready to show you the Army commencement speech from President Trump. So speaking of commencement speeches, let's go to not the full speech of Vice President J.D. Vance. You can actually watch that replay on Rumble and other social platforms right here on Right Side. But let's go to the Blue Angels, and I'll have a few things to say about these awesome pilots in just a minute, but let's take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Blue Angels, the Navy's Precision Flight Demonstration Squadron, will be approaching momentarily from the south behind us in a salute to the class of 2025.
I'm widening out, but I'm not going to get the angle today. You don't think so?
That's awesome. I want to see the Blue Angels in person. Those of you that have seen those air shows around the country, just, all kinds of airplanes and just aviation lovers out there, never seen the Blue Angels and never have seen the other group there. I'll get to the name in just a second, but I wanted to talk about the Blue Angels quickly. So if you look up on any social platform or anywhere out there, you can type in Blue Angels chair flying. Blue Angels chair flying. So they sit around a conference table, they have a meeting, and then they shut their eyes and they visualize their entire flight. And they go through what they say to each other between the pilots. If you haven't heard of that, it's a really cool video. Just type in Blue Angels chair flying. I find it fascinating. I think visualization and just relaxing and calming down, praying and all that, I think it's all awesome stuff. But it's really cool to see some of the best pilots in the world. That's what they do as they practice their maneuvers and all their things that they do. It's pretty cool. Cool insight with the Blue Angels there. I think we might play that video one more time, maybe at the end of the show since it's a Friday. And as soon as we see Air Force One take off, maybe we'll play that scene just again for you. And man, I wish we had the copyright to some of the Top Gun music because that would have been perfect. Anyway. All right, so let's go to yesterday with the Make America Healthy Again event at the White House. We'll go to that in just a minute, but we know that RFK Jr. was there, and we know that there was this huge roundtable discussion about making our country healthy again. And we see that there's this actual MAHA report that I'm going to read from here that was sent out on social media, and specifically Make America Healthy Again, the MAHA report. It's all in green and white. And it says, number one, poor diet. Ultra-processed foods dominate children's diets, lacking essential nutrients. Number two, environmental chemical exposure. Plastics and chemicals are parts of daily life, but the cumulative exposures may have long-term health impacts. Number three, lack of physical activity and chronic stress. Technology-driven lifestyles contribute to declining mental and physical health. And finally, number four, over-medicalization. Rising prescription rates treat symptoms without addressing root causes. This is from MAHA's report yesterday, that commission report, a historic report handed from RFK Jr. to President Trump yesterday. The path forward says the Make America Healthy Again Commission emphasizes radical transparency to address the crisis by following on empowering American farmers to support healthier food production, transforming the healthcare system from a sick care model to disease prevention and reversal, and leveraging AI and technology to enable innovative solutions. And of course, get rid of the ultra-processed stuff that all of us, I mean, I say that, I guess figuratively speaking, but most of us have had all of that ultra-processed junk food out there. I mean, I know I have over the years, but we know now, okay, so specifically what can we have that will be so much more healthy? I mean, we know it's God's food, right? You're talking, if you eat steak or seafood or, vegetables, fruits, and that kind of thing. You're going good with most of that stuff, right? So it's difficult sometimes when you want some, maybe some cookies or some ice cream and all that other stuff. But I'm still going to have some ice cream. But I will try and work out and eat a better diet. Enough about me. Let's go to the White House from yesterday with the Make America Healthy Again Commission report. Take a look.
4 months ago, I created the Presidential Commission to Make America Healthy Again, and today the commission officially delivers its first report on childhood health.
I'm proud to introduce the MAHA report, a monumental assessment from the federal government that serves as a call to action for all stakeholders in society to reverse the childhood chronic disease epidemic. All of us agree that the trends for childhood health are on a tragic trajectory. This report is the first time in modern American history that the federal government gives a clear-eyed assessment of what is happening to children's health and the potential causes.
Tremendous talent around this table, the most respected people, and I look forward to continuing the historic progress.
I want to thank you for your vision, for your courage, for standing up. He is on the side of the middle class, the working class, the poor in this country. I've never seen a president, Democrat or Republican, that is willing to stand up to industry when it's the right thing to do and to hold his stand on those issues. I've never seen anything like it. This is a milestone. Never in American history has the federal government taken a position on public health like this. And because of President Trump's leadership, it's not just one cabinet secretary, it's the entire government that is behind this report.
All right, so yesterday, Make America Healthy Again. Today, with the executive orders, all about making America energy independent again with those executive orders that were signed, which will increase nuclear power for the military, increase nuclear reactor testing, and will provide new highly modernized nuclear reactors, among other items there within energy. So we may be able to play just the executive order signing and minus the reporter questions. For those of you that missed that, we had that at the top of the broadcast, as it's about 9 minutes to the top of the hour here on this Friday, May 23rd. We're going to go over a number of news items we're seeing out there. But before we do, we are going to go to the president as he will be boarding Air Force One. We'll show you that video once we get a feed of that happening. We know he just wrapped up those executive orders. So then from there, he'll be walking out to the South Lawn, going to Marine One, of course, flying over to Joint Base Andrews, on his way with Air Force One, flying not too far. It'll be a very, very quick flight. He's going to go from Maryland, where Joint Base Andrews is located, over to New Jersey. He'll be going tonight to Bedminster, New Jersey, his Trump National Club there, because, of course, tomorrow he'll go up to West Point, New York, for the commencement speech with the Army. That coverage starts at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Indirectly, it reminds me on Saturdays when we do coverage like a rally day. I mean, the Army, of course, loving President Trump, the soldiers, and they're going to be obviously happy to see the Commander-in-Chief there tomorrow. It'll be great to hear the President speak in West Point, New York. I'm going to double check the weather there, too, to see what it's like for tomorrow. Right now, down here in Alabama, 85 and sunny. Hopefully it stays that way. It doesn't get too much hotter, but of course it is the deep south. So we'll see that when it happens. Now West Point, New York. Let's see here. The weather tomorrow looks like 59 degrees for a high, cloudy skies, but it may get sunny because today it says 100% of rain. So you know how it is sometimes with the weather apps, it shows 100% rain today, and that it's going to be cloudy tomorrow, but sometimes it's not right. This is just off the Apple phone here. Speaking of Apple, we're going to get to some of those Truth Social posts about Apple and America and President Trump speaking about the company there in just a second. Before we do that, for those of you just joining us, Let's go to just the executive order part of the signings of President Trump of the Making America Energy Independent again. We'll just watch that just for a little bit. And then when we come back, we'll be getting ready again to show you the video of President Trump going on Air Force One and taking off. And also we'll dive into some of President Trump's Truth Social posts. So here's the executive order signings from just moments ago.
Okay, Will, please.
Yes, sir. The first executive order we have for you relates to the issue that Secretary Hegseth was speaking to, which is the need for incredible amounts of power at defense installations and also in AI-focused installations. What this executive order will do is speed up the approval and adoption process for specialized nuclear reactors at these sorts of sites. It also involves the Department of Energy making available the necessary fuel stock. It also creates a special envoy position and a strategy around nuclear technology export, the idea being that we can grow American industry on the back of foreign purchasers who are interested in this sort of technology as well.
I'm just thinking, as you're saying that, I just said, what about auto pens? Could I use an auto pen? What did Biden do? Did he have an auto pen at the desk?
Nuclear powered.
No, he didn't do events like that. He used nuclear power. You know, he didn't do events like this, I guess. That's all right. Otherwise, you know, you walk into the other side of the room, have an auto pen sign, right? Here it is. It's phase one. Very big phase, very important phase.
Sir, this next executive order is intended to reform the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. You heard a few of the people here speak about the complex regulatory processes that have really held the nuclear industry back. Before 1978, there were 133 reactors built in the United States. Since 1978, only 2 new commercial reactors have come online. That's because of overregulation, and the goal of this executive order is bringing that regulatory process into line with the actual needs of the industry and public safety, with an end goal of quadrupling the amount of nuclear power production in the next 2.5 decades.
It's fantastic. It's exciting, right? Okay. There you go.
This next executive order relates to nuclear reactor testing, sir. The degree of overregulation and governmental inaction in this space in particular has had the effect of throttling development of new, highly modernized nuclear reactors that could really revolutionize the field of nuclear power generation. So this executive order, it orders a revised regulatory process to speed this whole process while preserving, obviously, core safety concerns. It also creates a new pilot program with an expectation that we will have 3 new experimental reactors online by July 4th next year.
It's amazing. That's okay, come on.
And lastly, sir, we have an executive order on reinvigorating the nuclear industrial base. There are a number of core issues here, including the issue with fuel feedstock that one of the speakers mentioned before. This executive order, among other actions, includes an invocation of the Defense Production Act in order to spur a closer collaboration with private industry to ensure that we have the fuel supplies we need for a modernized nuclear energy sector. In addition to that, it includes crucial provisions relating to the development of a nuclear energy sector workforce and a number of other key building blocks to the overall nuclear industry that we're trying to spur here.
Great. Thank you.
We have one more for you here, sir. This doesn't directly relate to nuclear energy, but it's on a similar subject. This executive order is entitled Restoring Gold Standard Science. One of the issues that we've had in recent decades is that government policy has been made on the back of junk science, scientific studies and findings that have included conflicts of interest or scientific misconduct. The purpose of this executive order is to recenter policymaking around gold standard science, scientific efforts that have followed appropriate scientific methods that don't include those sorts of conflicts of interest, and to ensure that when departments and agencies are relying on scientific studies to promulgate rules, to promulgate regulations, that the science that they're relying on is highly reliable and available to the public.
He did a very good job, didn't he?
He did.
How many people here could have done that? I don't know. I think a lot. Thanks. Good job, Will.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Is that it?
That's all we have for you now, sir.
Do you have any questions?
Okay, so that was all of the executive orders being signed about nuclear power in America, also making America independent again. After that, it was the reporters asking the questions to the president. If you'd like to see that in its entirety, we do have that just on replay. If you just scrub back a bit and if you want to watch it, obviously you can do that. But we'll also have this link out there for you even after this live broadcast to check it out. Those of you guys saying kind things on the chats out there, thanks so much for watching Right Side Broadcasting Network. So many loyal viewers over so many years since day one, 2015. Can you believe it? It's 2025, 10 years solid, celebrating that 10th year anniversary coming up this summer. So great to see it. Great to have you guys aboard with us. And please tell your friends and family about Right Side Broadcasting Network as we continue to cover conservative news, specifically everything inside the beltway of the White House there in Washington, D.C. So thanks again for being with us. Now let's go to our Trump on Truth segment quickly and watch what President Trump has posted about 7 hours ago. He was talking about the European Union, which was formed for the primary purpose, he says, of taking advantage of the United States on trade, has been very difficult to deal with. Their powerful trade barriers, their VAT taxes, ridiculous corporate penalties, on and on and on. President Trump talking about that, saying at the end, there is no tariff if you just do the right thing. So it looks like here our discussions with them are going nowhere, so the United States and the EU. And then the president says, therefore, I am recommending a straight 50% tariff on the EU starting June 1st this year. There is no tariff if the product is built or manufactured in the United States. Thank you for your attention to this matter. That's President Trump talking about trade earlier. And then we were talking about Apple iPhones. President Trump talking about Tim Cook, saying, I have long ago informed Tim Cook of Apple that I expect their iPhones will be sold in the United States of America, will be manufactured and built in the United States, not India, not any place else, he says. If that is not the case, a tariff of at least 25% must be paid by Apple to the United States. Thank you for your attention to this matter. That, according to the president, speaking hours ago, upwards of 7 hours ago on Truth Social, hasn't posted anything since then. The White House posted just about an hour ago. At its core, this report is a call to action for common sense, talking about that commission report from the Make America Healthy Again from just yesterday. We played that video for you just moments ago. So right now, the latest we have is it's 3:01 on the East Coast, and we're waiting for President Trump. He's going to be departing the White House there, going over to the South Lawn, and then maybe he'll answer a few questions from reporters. If not, he'll go directly to Marine One. We'll watch that plane take off, or that helicopter take off, and then, of course, we definitely will be able to see the Air Force One take off from Joint Base Andrews. And then after that, we'll end the show with, why not, the Blue Angel flyover that happened this morning at the Naval Academy, where Vice President J.D. Vance was delivering a commencement address. Quite a cool moment there as the sailors were all cheering the ones that were graduating there on the field there. It was a great moment, so we'll watch that again together just a bit later. So, all right, so 2 minutes after the hour, let's double check if there's any major national breaking news right now. As of this point, it looks like a leading report on X says President Trump announces 25% tariffs on Samsung if their products aren't created and made in the United States. So that's what we're seeing there. Of course, we've seen the president signing those executive orders in order to streamline the process of testing new nuclear reactors. That's what we have been reporting here as we watched it together, that with Libs of TikTok also talking about it. the White House also posting about this event. So right now, there's nothing that is massive breaking news. But speaking of what was just the other night in Washington, D.C., when 2 of the Israeli embassy staffers, their lives cut short at the age of 30 and 26, about to be engaged in Jerusalem. That story, sometimes what happens is mainstream media touches it, talks about it, and they let it go. It's definitely not something that we're going to do, because we know that any radicals in our country that are calling for any kind of jihad or violence and that kind of thing, we know that the DOJ, DHS, the president, and others don't want that happening here. I mean, we've seen Columbia and Harvard, they're realizing that they're losing their funding for these kind of acts that are able to happen out there at their campuses. And then the awful tragedy of this beautiful couple, Yaron Lashinsky on the right, Sarah Milgram on the left, if you're looking straight on the camera there. A devout Christian is Yaron on the right, and then a devout Jew on the left. And they found love, and then they were about to get engaged. And then some guy that has the woke mind virus did what he did. So what we're hoping for is, first, the sincere, heartfelt condolences to the family members of those 2 great people. And I posted on Truth Social, we'll see them again. Whenever it's our time on this earth, we'll see them again in heaven. Great people right there. They were doing so many awesome things for the United States, for Israel. I know that Sarah, according to all of the reports, she was really working even with Arab nations, just how to bring peace, how to have more peace building for that area. So again, condolences to the family there for that awful tragedy from earlier in the week. But it's, again, those kind of stories that people, they look at it, it's sad, and then you move on. But it's hard to move on sometimes, especially when it comes to situations that affect people that are Jewish or Christian. And then, just the fact that they were Israeli embassy staffers. And we see a lot of that violent rhetoric being talked about. And that's not what President Trump wants to see in this country. He said it specifically on Truth Social just the other day about all of this to stop in the United States. And then what else can be done? Prosecutions, law enforcement, that kind of thing. So again, it's 3:06 Friday, May 23rd, as we move on a bit here on Right Side Broadcasting Network, looking live at the White House right now as we get ready to see President Trump. Hopefully we'll be seeing him board Marine One and then on his way to Bedminster, New Jersey, a beautiful area there where the Trump National Golf Course is. And then also he'll be in West Point, New York tomorrow for the Army's commencement address. We hope that you'll join us at 9 tomorrow morning. And those of you watching right now live, and specifically those of you guys watching right now live, thank you guys for watching Right Side Broadcasting Network on a Friday afternoon at 3:06. Staying informed on everything when it comes to the White House. I mean, we just showed you the executive orders. Of course, we at this network side with the Constitution and common sense and freedom. And of course, part of that is we the people. So all of you watching right now, we see you. We're happy that you're with us. And we also do read some of those chats and those comments that you have on Rumble and other social platforms. So whether you're watching on Rumble, which is preferred, it's a great streaming site, of course. Those of you watching on X, Facebook, YouTube, and our app and website, Getter, so many places to watch. And a lot of followers now on X, on Truth, on Rumble. I mean, there's 500,000 followers just on Rumble alone. And that number is actually pushing the 600,000 mark and increasing. So wonderful to have you guys with us as we look forward to the future of this golden age of America. The golden age of America. Christina Bobb, years ago, her and I worked at one of the rallies, and she said to me in a conversation that the golden age of America will happen under President Trump for another term. And this is when Biden was only a couple years into his wreck of a presidency. And she really said, the golden age, America, the United States of America will have a golden age. And I remember reaching out to her one time and I said, you were right about that. Well, that's what we're seeing right this second. We're seeing the golden age of America, the birth of it. We're only 125 or so days into President Trump's second administration. We have 3 years and 8 months to go, and that's a lot of winning to be done. So really looking forward to covering it here at the network and within conservative media. A lot of the podcasts and the news outlets, I mean, everyone staying on the right side of history. So thanks again for choosing Right Side Broadcasting Network as we get ready for some of the live pictures from the Air Force One, which is right there, right on cue. And it's a smaller plane this time. There are a few different Air Force jets that the president can get on. Of course, that's not the big, with the 4 engines. This is just the 2 engines because he's only flying to Bedminster, New Jersey from Maryland because, of course, tomorrow he'll be in New York for the West Point address for the Army. So we'll be monitoring that, watching all of that happen here at Right Side. Again, tomorrow, 9 a.m. that starts. And a beautiful picture there of Air Force One as we await President Trump flying in on Marine One, as he does every time he does fly, whether it's to the Southern White House for the weekend or in this case up to New Jersey to the Trump National Club there. We'll watch the live picture. We'll go to it live of Marine One flying and then going there to land, and then we'll see the president board Air Force One. Post that flight, as he takes off, we're going to show that Blue Angel video again here. And, maybe just those of you at home, if you have your phone with you, if you have like Spotify or Pandora or YouTube or whatever, Apple Music, if you want to cue up the Top Gun music, those of you that miss, Trump Force One, you remember all of those rallies where he'd fly the flyover with Trump Force One and Top Gun music would be playing. It was pretty awesome. I remember in Dayton, Ohio, covering an event there. And President Trump flew in, landed the plane right behind the stands there. And it was a windy day, but still made that good landing. And what a place to land in Ohio, of course, with such rich history of aviation, and North Carolina, too. And then they were playing the Top Gun music. So great to see it and great to hear it, great to experience it. And we'll be playing at least the Blue Angel video after we see Air Force One take off. In a little bit from now. So again, happy Friday to you. It's 10 after 3 o'clock, Friday, May 23rd. Double checking if there's any major breaking news stories. As of right now, we don't see that there's anything massive breaking news happening right this second. But, indirectly there is breaking news because every day is a historic day for this president because of what he overcame as a leader and as the commander-in-chief and what our country has overcome. We are not done, though. Saving our country takes a day at a time of that, the turtle versus the hare, right? Slow and steady wins the race. I've had to learn that, to be honest with you, over the years. I've always liked to, go fast, get to that next point, and then just relax. But it's not really what is the winning way. The winning way is the slow and steady way out of the turtle, of the tortoise. And that's just a better way that I've kind of adapted to. It's just that one day at a time and really get there. And that really applies, I think, to a lot of things in life as well. It's just slow and steady wins the race. And that's what we're seeing with President Trump. My buddy and I used to call it, back in the day, we called it turtle power. All right, enough of the corny stuff, but it's still true, right? I mean, turtle power, it's just that day at a time. Just keep going, don't quit. And that's what's awesome about President Trump. He always, these speeches that he had at the University of Alabama, and he spoke about some of the ways of success. And in every speech, every book, every time he opens up a little bit, there's something to do with the following words. Never give up, always keep going, or keep going. So that's one thing I think for life or for politics or for sports or for anything, right? Just keep going, don't ever quit. And that's what he's doing. He's just not going to quit. He keeps going, keeps winning, and calls it like it is. And that's the thing we love about him, too. He tells it like it is. He called the other day, believe it or not, some people treasonous thugs. He said it on Truth Social. You can check it out. When it comes to all sorts of things, when the lawfare and all of that. We're going to see a very interesting next 100 days and on, in my opinion, because we've been seeing the track record of President Trump. He's been doing that for the past 120, and he's going to continue that. So it's like a gradual climb, no pun intended for the airplane there, but it's a gradual climb since 2015. He's only been getting stronger and more powerful, and we the people are behind him, and the cabinet members, and draining the swamp, and he keeps going, and keeps going higher and higher and higher. And that's what we want. We hired him to do that great job, and he's doing it. And it's great, and we love it. As it's 3:13 Eastern Time, monitoring any more breaking news or any other national news headlines at this point. We do see that the New Hampshire Senator Deborah Atchison compares transgender issues to Jim Crow laws. That, according to Just the News, I just saw that on there. A number of other stories that we're just taking a look at, but we're not forgetting about the James Comey investigation. That's something that is what the FBI and Secret Service are looking closely at. So we'll follow any details there, and also anything when it comes to the declassification task force that Representative Anna Paulina Luna talked about months ago. All these different files that the American people will learn about, and we're seeing those slowly come out. But of course, we want to know more, and as soon as we see more of that, we'll report it here as we're taking that live look right now at 3:14 Eastern Time. I'm Matthew Alvarez. Thanks again for streaming in. So let's go to a few more notes here. Looking at X and Truth right now, it looks like at this point, the Department of Government Efficiency says a great job by the Louisiana Secretary of State using the new and free federal SAVE database to ensure voter integrity. Louisiana is the first state to use the new DOJ voter list maintenance database. By using the information now made available to the states at no cost, we can check our voter list to ensure that only eligible Louisiana citizens are registered to vote. Department of Government Efficiency 3 minutes ago on X just posted this, giving a shout out to the Louisiana Secretary of State Nancy Landry, keeping the voter rolls clean. Great to see that. That post 5 hours ago from the Louisiana Secretary of State, the DOJ just highlighting it now on X right here live on the network. So if you want to check it out, it's the Department of Government Efficiency on X highlighting the fact of election security, election integrity, and on. And of course, making it too big to rig. That's what happened in 2024, just several months ago. And then now, as we slowly look to the future of the midterms in 2026, making that too big to rig. But also this specific situation, this is pretty big news in my opinion right here, because we have to have free and fair elections, and that's what the name of the game is for electing the right person into office. And keeping the voter rolls clean, meaning making sure that these are only eligible citizens of each state are allowed to vote. And Louisiana is the first state to use this new DOJ voter list maintenance database. Pretty cool stuff right there when it comes to voting and keeping our elections safe and secure. On Truth Social, double checking if the president has posted anything recently. We do know he talked about the negotiating that deal with the United Kingdom. He says it's working out well for all. He says he strongly recommends them, however, that in order to get their energy costs down, that they stop with the costly and unsightly windmills and incentivize modernized drilling in the North Sea, where large amounts of oil lay waiting to be taken. Man, it seems like President Trump is the president of the world at this point, because he's actually right, though. He's right when it comes to all these different things that are happening within foreign policy and within our domestic front. So it'd be great if other leaders would get behind him talking about things like stopping the Russia-Ukraine war, working on behalf of stopping Hamas and Hezbollah, working on behalf of, and back here domestically, seeing the great exploits of the southern border being sealed by our military after President Trump, if you remember, signed that executive order saying it's a national emergency of this invasion of the illegal immigrants that are coming across the border, and then many times turning out to be criminal illegal aliens. And there should be no problem again for the massive deportations that are happening. Some at the White House, I mean, not just some, everyone at the White House. Someone posted from the White House account talking about, you know, the big beautiful bill is great, but so are big beautiful deportations under that bill. So a lot going on there as the big beautiful bill passed, of course, as you guys know, this week at the U.S. House of Representatives, now on to the U.S. Senate. So we'll see how that goes there. We're hoping to see the Senate pass that. And just a few days ago, the Senate, actually the Congress, of course, how they just passed it, there is a message out from the White House, the 20 reasons why Congress should pass the big beautiful bill. So now all you do is just change the word from Congress to Senate, and it's the same thing. It's the same 20 reasons there that it should be passed for our country, including the big beautiful bill number 1. It delivers the largest tax cuts in American history. So it means an extra $5,000 in Americans' pockets with a double-digit % decrease to their tax bills. Those of you that have been watching this week, you know, Robert McNeely and I both have covered this 20 points or 20 reasons why now the U.S. Senate should pass this big beautiful bill, get it to President Trump's desk, sign it into law, get this thing moving. Is because the reason why we've shared it so much is because this is something that we the people want. They voted for President Trump. He talked about these campaign promises. So this isn't just President Trump's bill and all that. This is the we the people bill. This big beautiful bill is for we the people. And to just remind our Senate that this is what we the people want. So really, there should be no problem with getting this thing moved along, just like the House did. A great celebration there as well. So number 2, it includes a no tax on tips and no tax on overtime. The number 3, to the point that I was just talking about before, delivers big beautiful deportations. The bill permanently secures our borders by making the largest border security investment in history. On top of all of that, this will help pay for the entire border wall. This wall will be taken care of, and it finishes that border wall. As you guys may have been seeing some of those photos and videos from the border, whether it's a DOD video that we've shared here or a post online, but we see the beautiful wall there. You know, big beautiful wall, big beautiful bill, big beautiful deportations. How about big beautiful America? You know, and it's all positive and it's all good. And that's what we want. And as much unity as possible. And those that are trying to cause harm to our citizenry or the agenda that we want, well, then if it's anything illegal, then from there, the prosecutors will have to take care of business there. Unfortunately, there are still some judges out there that we've seen that are on the wrong side of history. But President Trump has to be able to do his job that he has the power to do, including deport criminal illegal aliens, as you guys know. But some judges are trying to hold that back. But we've talked about that a few times here at the network. And I know I'm preaching to the choir as we're looking live at 3:21 Eastern at Air Force One. That is a live feed there. So at this point, President Trump gearing up to leave the White House, possibly already on his way on Marine One to land there at Joint Base Andrews for that short flight to New Jersey, as he will stay there tonight and then tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, right here on Right Side. Those of you in California, sorry it's so early. I know it's 6 a.m., but maybe from bed or the couch, you just want to flip us on if you want. And just check it out, because at 9 Eastern tomorrow, we'll start our live coverage. President Trump will be speaking around 10:15 Eastern tomorrow morning to the Army, delivering that commencement address. So we look forward to you joining us, and just maybe wake up with some coffee and some breakfast and check out that coverage with us tomorrow. Let's go to a commercial break. Matthew Alvarez will be right back on Right Side Broadcasting Network.
You've heard how hard it can be to get access to medications like ivermectin, all the things they don't want you to take because they're actually effective and they don't cost all that much, right? You've seen that one before. So it's critical to have something like that on hand for any emergency and to be prepared in a time of crisis. And that's why I want to tell you about All Family Pharmacy. They're cutting through the nonsense, and they make it easy to get hard to find medications when you need them most. They'll provide the prescription, no hoops to jump through, no waiting room, no hassle, and they deliver it right to your door. All Family Pharma even lets you order in bulk so you can stay ahead of the curve. Head over to allfamilypharmacy.com for 10% off your first order. Again, allfamilypharmacy.com. It's simple. Get the 10% savings. Be prepared.
I'm Elmer Heinrich, the 91-year-old formulator of Immuno 150, an incredible nutritional supplement. There's nothing like it. Now, Immuno 150 is different because it contains 70 plant-derived minerals and 80 other nutrients. Dr. Linus Pauling, known for vitamin C, was instrumental in convincing me to get into the mineral business in 1983. He said the world is sick due to a lack of minerals in topsoil. He said the body needs 60 minerals, but the average food and supplement has no more than 12. That's the reason for Immuno 150. Since its inception, it's had a powerful impact on the lives of thousands of people who could not get any help from various supplements they took or their doctor. Now, I suggest you try Immuno 150 and see what 70 minerals, CoQ10, and 80 nutrients can do for you. Look at the 2 videos on our website. Millions have. Now, consider placing an order for Immuno 150 online or call our toll-free number. I know you'll be glad you did.
Welcome back to Right Side Broadcasting Network. There you see Air Force One, 2 great vantage points for you here on the network. Not brought to you by me specifically at all. I don't have any of the controls here. It's our great crew that you don't see that does this day in and day out. And this great network, the owners and our president, Grace Saldana, our COO, as well as we continue to work as a team together to show you these live pictures and bring you live coverage every day here on Right Side Broadcasting Network, including tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. We'll have that Army commencement speech by President Trump. Looking forward to hearing from the president tomorrow as he will be going to New Jersey tonight there in Bedminster, which is the Trump National Golf Club. I'm seeing some other reports right now, some international news. Some of you that really stay involved in following news out there. ViceGrad24, it's an online X account that is a news organization that covers a lot of just different things that happen around the world. Breaking news from about 2 hours ago, 12 people have been stabbed at the Central train station in Hamburg, Germany. 6 are in serious condition. That's happening just recently. So, not sure at this point who was involved with that and why that happened. But when you look at a lot of these stories, there's a lot of similar things as to the suspects that are involved in these kind of attacks that happen. So it's obviously a very difficult world out there, but there's a lot of joy as well to be found in faith. In the Bible, there's joy to be found in our country as well, because we have a great leader that isn't taking advantage of the American people, isn't putting his thumb down on us and telling us what we can and cannot do when it comes to, certain things in life. But it's great to be able to have someone that is really, has the interests of the American people on his mind and heart. But again, this isn't just President Trump. This is him and his team of great cabinet leaders and the whole White House staff, really on the right side of history. And so we, the people, including myself, this isn't just because I'm, on camera right now, whatever, but it is all of us together saying, go, 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 win, win, win. But also, please, let there be justice be served where it needs to be. Save this country. And I know that he's doing that. But we have 3 years, 8 months of more winning and great things to happen. If this is the way it is right now, where the golden age is just getting kicked off in full force right now. I remember hearing from Carolyn Levitt just the other day on the press briefing, and she was saying that really the full completion of this golden age of America is within this big, beautiful bill. This thing is really good and solid. It's like this. It's if you have a virus in a software and you need that software update, and the virus is all of the inflation, all of the taxes, all of the junk from the past administration, You know, if your phone's not working right, you got to get that software update. And if you don't believe in software updates, I hear you, that's a different story. But specifically within this 30,000 foot view analogy, that's what we need. We need a software update in this country, and that's what we're getting through the big, beautiful bill. That's a major upgrade for us. So the Senate, as many of you know, needs to pass that in order for President Trump to sign it into law. So if you'd like, I mean, that's your due diligence as an American citizen. If you'd like to call your senators and say, hey, these reasons, including it boosts Border Patrol and ICE agents on the front lines, empowers immigration authorities to carry out their mission, hiring 10,000 new ICE personnel. How about it protects Medicaid for Americans by kicking 1.4 million illegals off of the benefits? On and on and on. We can get back into that list if we need to, but there are so many things that will really make a difference for us. How about the number one point? I'm going to read the entire number one point here, and if you see me looking down, it's because I've got this iPad right here. Number one for the big, beautiful bill reads, it delivers the largest tax cut in American history. It means an extra $5,000 in Americans' pockets with a double-digit % decrease to their tax bills. So this is the clear, common sense, transparent specifics. Ready? Americans earning between $30,000 and $80,000 will pay around 15% less in taxes. That reason alone is a big reason why you'd want to make this thing pass, but that's only one of 20 reasons. I'm going to randomly go to number 12. Number 12, it finally modernizes air traffic control. That's a good one. As we look at the Air Force One there, let's go to number 18. It's a once-in-a-generation chance to revolutionize our nation's defense capabilities and protect the homeland against new threats. It funds President Trump's Golden Dome, which we heard about earlier this week, invests in American shipbuilding, and modernizes our military. I don't know how many more we should read, right? I mean, this is something that is all positive and really good. And here's the thing that I think really helps with this. We know we love President Trump. We trust President Trump. We know that he's not going to pull one over on the American people. Because if there was something that was found out that this was a big sham, that wouldn't be good. But we know that that's not what he does. Why would he even want to do that? He didn't do it in his first administration. He's not doing it in his second. And he's the outsider. He's the outsider. He's not the establishment guy. So it's great to see this big, beautiful bill. We hope it passes the Senate, which I believe it will. And then, again, we have the opportunity to call our senators. Be respectful. Just call them up and leave messages or leave and speak to the staffers and let them know that you want the big, beautiful bill passed in the Senate. And then as soon as that's done, President Trump, wait until that signing ceremony. Wait until that signing ceremony. How about the East Room of the White House? If he does it there, maybe he'll do it from the Oval Office, maybe someplace different, who knows. But when he takes out that Sharpie and he signs that, when it's quiet, right? And you hear him just the sound of the Sharpie, and he signs that thing. That'll be an awesome software upgrade for we the people. The big, beautiful bill. Those 20 reasons that you guys can check out if you'd like. It's on all over the place, but whitehouse.gov is a place to go. Obviously, a government website, but specifically it shares the reasons why this is something that would be great to pass for the Senate and then for the president to sign it soon after that. There are many more things that the president has promised us, we the people. Speaking of the number 20, those 20 core promises that really from the onset, from the campaign trail that he talked about. And he already has taken care of number one of that. And I believe they're in my notes somewhere here. And number one is to seal the border. So we know that that's already happened. I can't believe I'm even looking at the GOP platform. Remember, this is the GOP Agenda 47, President Trump's platform, the 20 core promises to the American people. Number one, let's look at it again. Because, and the reason why I'm doing this is we're watching the reform of America. And these promises, I mean, if there's a job that we have as journalists is, yes, to show you what's going on, but also to be like, hey, all right, you said that you're going to seal the border and stop the migrant invasion. Well, we don't have to ask that question because he's doing it. And those that do those slanted left-wing ridiculous questions to just spin their narrative, their false narratives against our country and the president, they're just against we the people and against our Constitution and against the United States of America, against this American soil. Those reporters and anchors and hosts who make millions and millions of dollars doing it, I don't know how they're still making that money, especially when a lot of the advertisers are getting sick and tired of that fake news that they keep spewing, and those ratings and those numbers keep dropping. Number 2 is carry out the largest deportation operation in American history. Number 3, end inflation and make America affordable again. Number 4, make America the dominant energy producer in the world by far. Great to talk about that as we saw the executive orders signed by the president earlier today about the nuclear reactors and bringing more nuclear power to our military and other specifics there that you can watch again here on right side. Number 5, stop outsourcing and turn the United States into a manufacturing superpower. We're seeing all of these bits and pieces and big advancements in all of these 20 promises. Let's continue on. Number 6, large tax cuts for workers and no tax on tips, no tax on overtime pay, AKA the big, beautiful bill. Number 7, defend our Constitution. Of course, this is my favorite one. And guys, I'll be really transparent with you. I know I repeat sometimes some of these things about it's the Constitution, it's common sense and all, because it is. It is. I just love it. And it's number 7, defend our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, and our fundamental freedoms, including freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and the right to keep and bear arms. Number 8 out of 20, as we await the president here, he's going to be coming in on Marine One, then aboard that Air Force One. And then, of course, if you're just joining us now and you haven't watched any coverage at all today, we're going to show you this Blue Angels flyover from this morning when Vice President J.D. Vance was speaking at the Naval Academy's graduation, and it's a really awesome moment. So we're going to watch that right after we see the Air Force One take off with the Commander-in-Chief, the leader of the free world, on his way to New Jersey. Again, staying at the Trump National Club there in Bedminster, as tomorrow coverage right here at 9 a.m. starts for the Army's commencement address that the President Trump will have. We'll have that in its entirety, and we'll have coverage starting at 9 a.m. Also, let's look at number 8 out of 20. These are the core promises to the American people. Kept this in the notes because you see these different releases, press releases, and you're like, I'm going to hold on to that one. Number 8, prevent World War III, restore peace in Europe and in the Middle East, and build a great Iron Dome missile defense shield over our entire country, all made in America, aka the Gulf of America, aka the Golden Dome for America that was just announced earlier this week. The end of the weaponization of government against the American people. That's number 9. This is a promise by the RNC and President Trump to the American people. So we want to see, and we are starting to see more of this. Ed Martin, shout out to him, and Judge Jeanine Pirro and others. And the weaponization of government against the American people. We see that on number 9. Number 10, stop the migrant crime epidemic, demolish the foreign drug cartels, crush gang violence, and lock up violent offenders. Holy smokes, that one's powerful. That's number 10 out of 20. Number 11, rebuild our cities, including Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. Number 12, strengthen and modernize our military, making it without question the strongest and most powerful in the world. Remember hearing about that F-47, that 6th generation fighter jet? That was announced a couple months back, or at least a month ago. That was pretty awesome. And there's so many other ways that that's happening with modernizing the military. Number 13, keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. Number 14, fight for and protect Social Security and Medicare with no cuts, including no changes to the retirement age. The only thing that's happening there, according to the 20 reasons why the big, beautiful bill should pass, is taking the 1.4 million people and not having them have all of our benefits and cleaning that up. Basically the fraud, waste, and abuse that is happening there. That's the only thing that's getting so-called shaved off, is anything that is not going to the right people, including people that are not even citizens of our country. Keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. I already read that one. Number 15, cancel the electric vehicle mandate and cut costly and burdensome regulations. Number 16, cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, radical gender ideology, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content on our children. Number 17 already happened. Keep men out of women's sports. There are some states or some counties, some areas that are still trying to push that woke agenda, but they have to understand that we the people and the president from the highest office in the land and the leader of the free world says, keep men out of women's sports. Number 18, deport pro-Hamas radicals and make our college campuses safe and patriotic again. What more is there to add to that? Secure our elections, including same-day voting, voter ID, paper ballots, and proof of citizenship. That's number 19 out of 20. And number 20 out of 20. Unite our country by bringing it to new and record levels of success. So those are the top 20 core promises to the American people, and so far, so good. And I don't even really need to say so far, so good. Who am I to say that? I'm a citizen. I'm part of we the people. I voted for President Trump. So we do want to see those promises come to pass, and they are before our eyes, including number 9. Let's go back to it. It says specifically, end the weaponization of government against the American people. I think that's one of the key factors to us feeling a lot better in 28 and 29. 2028, 2029. Still making sure that justice has been served for those that need that justice to be served, if you know what I mean, when it comes to coming against our country. So that's something that's being talked about out there. I mean, President Trump the other day talking about treasonous thugs and that kind of thing. He said it. So just echoing some of what President Trump said, but also hoping that more and more people from the woke mind virus group will just see the light and just get some awareness and know that you've been lied to by so many people out there over the years. You know, human to human, we're not against you in the sense of we want you to want peace and love and harmony and all that stuff. And some people might say, well, what world is this guy living in right now? Well, I'm living in a world that I want to see as much peace and harmony as possible, just like President Trump does. And sometimes you win people over with honey instead of vinegar. But there are times, though, if there's something that is illegal happening or criminal illegal alien, you can't just be like, oh, here's some honey. No, it's more like, get out of our country. You're not even supposed to be here. You didn't do it the right way. This is not against immigrants in our country. We have plenty of people, all of us. My grandpa was from Cuba. We have people from everywhere in this country. And if they're here legally, great. You know, awesome different kinds of places to go out to eat and just great cultures and all that. It's wonderful. But if you're here illegally, especially if you committed a crime, you're getting the vinegar treatment. You got to go. All right, anyway, so it's 3:41, Friday, May 23rd. Again, thanks for streaming in live. We are standing by for President Trump. He's going to be on Marine One, flying over there to Joint Base Andrews. He'll be boarding that Air Force One. It's the smaller plane. You know, usually it's the much larger Air Force One plane that he boards, especially down to Florida or overseas. But this time only taking a quick flight over to New Jersey, as he will be staying in Bedminster tonight. And then tomorrow, going to West Point, New York. We'll have live coverage again starting here at 9 a.m. As we await the president, let's take a quick commercial break. I'm Matthew Alvarez. We'll see you on the other side of this break.
Welcome to Right Side Broadcasting Network, your trusted conservative news outlet. At RSBN, we deliver the truth when the mainstream media falls short. Since 2015, we've proudly broadcasted every single one of President Trump's iconic MAGA rallies, bringing you the excitement and energy live before anyone else. By watching RSBN, you get an unfiltered front row view of the action on the ground. We interview the crowds to give a voice to millions of Americans just like you. We show you President Trump's speeches in their entirety, free from interruptions and censorship. We cover the stories that matter to you with the integrity and passion you deserve. Thank you for choosing RSBN as your home for America First News. Together, we stand strong, united, and informed. So join us and be part of the right side of history.
Hey y'all, it's Silk from the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat live show. Look, don't forget to check me out right here on RSBN Network. Be sure to watch the show on Right Side Broadcasting Network, and I want you to support Right Side Broadcasting Network. Yes, it's imperative that you do so, okay? I look to see y'all soon. Bye-bye.
To celebrate our newest launch, Rev 7, I'm bringing you an amazing introductory offer, plus an exclusive overstock sale that you're not going to want to miss. Rev 7 is our premium energy drink that tastes great and gives you energy all day with no jitters and no crashes. That's because there's no sugar and no caffeine. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7 that for a limited time you can try our 3-pack absolutely free. Or check out our Percale bed sheets. I can't believe I'm even going to say this. Every color, every style, every size, only $29.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% on our Rev 7 12-packs or try our introductory 3-pack absolutely free. And our Percale bed sheets, all sizes only $29.88, even the queens and kings. Inventory is extremely limited, so order.
Welcome back to Right Side Broadcasting Network. I've just been alerted that there is a rally on May 30th in Pittsburgh at U.S. Steel, according to the president just minutes ago. Thanks to our crew here for letting me know on that. May 30th, the rally in Pittsburgh at U.S. Steel. Looking forward to the coverage here on Right Side Broadcasting Network. So we're going to go over some more of the dates of everything that's going on through May and June so far that we have logistically here at Right Side. Before we go over all of that information, let's go to President Trump's Truth Social account and double check on a few things here. He says he's proud to announce that we will be hosting a magnificent parade to honor the United States Army's 250th birthday on Saturday, June 14th in Washington, D.C. So he's talking about America 250 there. That is a nonpartisan initiative working to engage every American in the 250th anniversary of the United States. So, of course, that'll be July 4th of 2026, but he's talking specifically about the 250th for the United States Army, of course, started back in 1775, if you look at all the history there with all that. So President Trump also speaking about U.S. Steel. I am proud to announce that after much consideration and negotiation, U.S. Steel will remain in America and keep its headquarters in the great city of Pittsburgh. For many years, the name United States Steel was synonymous with greatness, and now it will be again. The planned partnership between the United States Steel and Nippon Steel, which will create at least 70,000 jobs and add $14 billion to the U.S. economy. The bulk of that investment will occur over the next 4 years. Let me bring that back. I was adding I pressed the button to show more, and it threw me off a little bit, so let me get back to it here. The bulk of that investment will occur in the next 14 months. This is the largest investment in the history of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. My tariff policies will ensure that steel will once again be forever made in America. Great to see that. From Pennsylvania to Arkansas and from Minnesota to Indiana, America Made is back. I will see you all at U.S. Steel in Pittsburgh on Friday, May 30th for a big rally. Congratulations to all. That's from President Trump. So great news there that the president will be having a rally in the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm from Pennsylvania. My wife and I are from the other side of the state, but went to college out there, Robert Morris University, not too far from Pittsburgh. And it's great to see that the president will be in the Steel City and that U.S. Steel will remain in America. And that's why they call it the Steel City, the Pittsburgh Steelers football team. Those of you out there that are Steeler fans, I'm not one, but I definitely respect the Pittsburgh Steelers. Go ahead and put on the chat if you're a Steeler fan out there. And if you really are a big fan, go ahead and put, "Here we go, Steelers, here we go." Just go ahead if you want to. But anyway, back to politics here. Looking forward to that. May 30th, the president will be in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for a huge rally. Of course, you'll be able to catch that right here on Right Side Broadcasting Network. All right, so we're 12 minutes from the 4 o'clock hour. Looking forward to seeing President Trump go from Marine One and walk over to Air Force One there, and he'll be taking off shortly. Let's just go to maybe the main screen there and just listen in live for just a second, and then maybe in 20 seconds we'll come right back. All right, so there you go. Air Force One right there. Looking forward to seeing President Trump at 3:49 on this Friday, May 23rd. Happy Friday to you. Thanks so much for streaming in with us on Right Side. You know, thinking about all the rallies over the years, it's been quite awesome to see all of the people throughout this country that whether I've seen it in person or you guys have watched on screen or you know, I was thinking about the Bronx today because 1 year ago today, President Trump did something historic. He had a speech in the so-called deep blue of the Bronx, but it didn't look so blue that day. May 23rd, 2024. Guys, and maybe we can show a photo of that on my Truth Social at Matthew Alvarez. I just posted a couple photos from that day that I took back a year ago today. To see all the people in the Bronx, to see the people in Rapid City, South Dakota, to see the people in Miami, Florida, all over the place. In Pennsylvania, there's so many different places across the country, of course, President Trump has been to. And yes, we missed those rally days, but good news, there's a rally in Pennsylvania, in Pittsburgh on May 30th. So we'll have that coverage, of course, on top of all the other news that's happening out there. We'll be covering all of the different items of information and the press conferences, but also the rally speech at U.S. Steel. That's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing. I can almost guarantee, 99.9% sure, that there will be one of those Steelers construction hats being worn. It's the Steelers helmet, but it's a construction hat at U.S. Steel when President Trump is there. As the camera's panning around a little bit, maybe looking out for Marine One flying in. That might be happening now. We'll see. But we'll go there live as soon as we see that, as it's very cool to see the president fly in with those helicopters. Is that one of them? I think it is. So when it gets a little closer, we'll go to that live, and then we'll see him land there and then walk over to Air Force One. And then after that, those of you that love aviation and air shows and all that, the Blue Angels did a huge, great, powerful flyover today, this morning at the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. While the Vice President, J.D. Vance, was on stage, of course, delivered a great commencement speech there. Sorry for the camera work there. He's just trying to get us all situated as we're awaiting Marine One to fly in. That's, again, Joint Base Andrews. And you can see, I mean, some of the staffers, they come outside, they take a look. I would do the same thing if you're working there in Maryland to see the president. And what a sight to see the Marine One come down there and land. And then as he boards, maybe we can get off, well, got that camera. He's a little bit all over the place, as you guys see. Yeah, there's a couple more of the planes there, or the helicopters. So it's 3:52 Friday, May 23rd. Let's just go there live. Let's watch the Marine One come down there and land, and we'll see President Trump on boarding Air Force One. Once he boards, we'll come back here to me for just a little bit as we get ready for the plane to move. Once the plane starts moving again, I'll toss it back there live. Because, to be honest, I'd rather listen and watch this than listen to me right now. So let's go there. How awesome is that? It's just awesome. There's really not words. I mean, he's the leader of the free world. He is the guy that has done so many great things for our country and has a lot more work to do. 3 years, 8 months, a lot of time to do a lot more for our country. So already, though, how many great things has he already done? So it's awesome to see him there. The photo there of when he's going up the jetway there, the stairs, and he stops and he points to the cameras and he gives that, fist pump, that kind of thing. It's always a good screenshot, and just use that as a photo. I think I'll do that a little bit later on Truth Social, but it was pretty cool. It's a good way to say, have a great weekend, Team America, or have a great weekend, we the people. But we're actually not done seeing the president. We'll see him tomorrow morning before we see him again coming up on Monday for the wreath-laying ceremony in Arlington, Virginia. So he'll be speaking at that Army commencement event tomorrow, of course, for the Army grads in West Point, New York. We see the president boarding Air Force One. One thing that really stood out to me just watching that whole process was the fact that while he's getting off of Marine One, as you guys saw just right there with me, he was handing them, it looked like some sort of golden coins or just some sort of medals of sorts, just something from the president to the pilots of Marine One. Stood there, talked to them for a little bit, and that's part of just what you need to have. You need to just connect, just say hello, say how's your day, man, are you guys okay, everything good? And it's just an easy thing to do, and maybe we should do more of that in our country. I know that there's a lot of tough situations out there, but a smile goes a long way, and it's great to see President Trump has that charismatic gift. And no, it's not as easy for everybody just to say hi to everybody and all that, introverts, extroverts, and anyway, but it's just nice. It's warm to the heart when President Trump is able to connect like that to those pilots there and give them some sort of medal or a coin or something that he gave them. I've seen that happen before with President Trump. When he was walking down the steps of Marine One, he shook one of the Marines' hands after the salute, and he also gave that Marine something. So it's great to see. So here's what we're going to do. It's 4:02, top of the hour, Friday, May 23rd. Happy Friday to you again. Hopefully you have a great weekend. Again, tune in tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Time for our coverage as we get ready to see President Trump's commencement speech. Also, we're going to go back there live once the plane starts to move, which will be any second from now. We'll watch Air Force One take off, and then we'll air once again the Blue Angels flyover from this morning at the Naval Academy when Vice President J.D. Vance was speaking and delivering a commencement address to the sailors. And we'll just experience not only the Air Force One taking off now, we'll also come back here for a minute in the studio and then throw to the Blue Angels flyover. Awesome stuff to see. And the other team of pilots that I was thinking of before, the Thunderbirds, of course, great pilots as well. Thunderbirds and the Blue Angels and all of our Air Force pilots. Just imagine being the first pilot, get this, just imagine being the first pilot to fly the F-47 6th generation fighter jet. Whoa. Getting trained on that thing would be wild. And then, it makes me think again of that movie Maverick. It's such an awesome movie with Top Gun. I love Top Gun 1, and usually when there's a second movie made similarly years later, you think, it's not going to be so good. They're just using the title, and that's why they're trying to make money or whatever. No, Top Gun Maverick is about this or one click up from the regular Top Gun. So anyway, enough of the aviation stuff, at least coming from me. Let's go back there live and get ready to see the Air Force One with the Commander-in-Chief about to take off from Joint Base Andrews. A beautiful vantage point there of Air Force One taking off from Joint Base Andrews on the way to New Jersey this time, because President Trump will be in New York tomorrow for the West Point, New York Army commencement address that he'll be sharing there with the Army grads. We'll have live coverage right here at 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 a.m. Eastern. Let's go from that awesome aviation moment to one that happened earlier with the Vice President, J.D. Vance, at the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, where the Blue Angels did a flyover. Check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Blue Angels, the Navy's Precision Flight Demonstration Squadron, will be approaching momentarily from the south behind us in a salute to the class of 2025.
I'm widening out, but I'm not going to get the aim of the thing.
You don't think so?
What an awesome scene that was. Annapolis, Maryland this morning, as J.D. Vance there, the Vice President, of course, delivering that commencement speech. American power right there. I mean, that's the Blue Angels, of course, the Thunderbirds, great pilots as well, Air Force pilots. Again, just imagine being the first pilot to train on the new F-47, that sixth generation plane when it comes out. That's going to be awesome to see. Also, we'll look forward to seeing Air Force One once again coming up here in a little bit. I mean, tomorrow the president will be again in West Point, New York at the Army there for the Army grad commencement speech. So we'll have that at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Let's thank a few sponsors here before we get going. All Family Pharmacy is allfamilypharmacy.com/RSBN. RSBN 20 for the 20% off. Great deal there. We also would like to thank Colonial Metals Group for being a great sponsor. freegoldguide.com/RSBN. You can get that free gold guide in the mail. Just go to freegoldguide.com/RSBN. If you'd like to donate to Right Side, all you have to do is text RSBN to 801-801. So just text RSBN to the numbers 801-801. For all of us here at Right Side Broadcasting Network, as you're looking live there at the White House, I'm Matthew Alvarez. Thanks again for streaming in. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Welcome to Right Side Broadcasting Network, your trusted conservative news outlet. At RSBN, we deliver the truth when the mainstream media falls short. Since 2015, we've proudly broadcasted every single one of President Trump's iconic MAGA rallies, bringing you the excitement and energy live before anyone else. By watching RSBN, you get an unfiltered front row view of the action on the ground. We interview the crowds to give a voice to millions of Americans just like you. We show you President Trump's speeches in their entirety, free from interruptions and censorship. We cover the stories that matter to you with the integrity and passion you deserve. Thank you for choosing RSBN as your home for America First News. Together, we stand strong, united, and informed. So join us and be part of the right side of history.
Hey y'all, it's Silk from the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat live show. Look, don't forget to check me out right here on RSBN Network. Be sure to watch the show on Right Side Broadcasting Network, and I want you to support Right Side Broadcasting Network. Yes, it's imperative that you do so, okay? I look to see y'all soon. Bye-bye.
To celebrate our newest launch, Rev 7, I'm bringing you an amazing introductory offer, plus an exclusive overstock sale that you're not going to want to miss. Rev 7 is our premium energy drink that tastes great and gives you energy all day with no jitters and no crashes. That's because there's no sugar and no caffeine. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7 that for a limited time you can try our 3-pack absolutely free. Or check out our Percale bed sheets. I can't believe I'm even going to say this. Every color, every style, every size, only $29.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% on our Rev 7 12-packs or try our introductory 3-pack absolutely free. And our Percale bed sheets, all sizes only $29.88, even the queens and kings. Inventory is extremely limited, so order now.